Hi guys, welcome back to another video. We are just sorting out my ECU getting sent off to Wheel Dyno Works, so you can see the address where that's going to if you need that. I have actually packaged the ECU in one of these like static resistant bags. I've included my order paperwork and actually a photo of the exhaust, just because I'm that kind of person that wants everything to be just right. So we're going to get this shipped off and hopefully it'll be there in a couple of days, and we'll be excited to get this back. Not that we can ride the bike anytime soon, but you get the idea. Also, we have arrived one of these things. So if you remember the track day review video, I was having some issues with some of the shifts, especially like 4th, 5th gear, I think it was, one of those two. So as a bit of a why not try it, I bought one of these devices which supports the Gearshift rod in the side of the engine. So we're going to get this fitted. I'll show you how that works. I did notice that this bearing is dry, so we're going to grease that up before we install it, make sure it's nicely lubricated with some grease, and I'll show you that when we get to it. But yeah, so welcome back. We're gonna focus on this for this video mainly, and we'll get this installed, show you how that goes. Okay, so we shipped this out on Monday lunchtime of this week, and it's now Friday lunchtime. Well, it's Friday evening now, but this arrived back with me on Friday lunchtime. So a good quick service from Wheel Dyno Works. It came back in this box, wrapped up in bubble wrap. So tomorrow we get to plug this in and see if the bike still runs and everything, and give it a good old test out. So good news. Okay, so we are back at the bike, and we are putting back in the ECU that's come back from Wheel Dyno Works. And one of the things that we're going to do is, so I basically don't run, so far I've been running the stock air intake system, but with the map that's on here, they simply recommend that we remove the snorkel. And I did have emails to Nate at Wheel Dyno Works discussing best options, and he says for his money there's no point putting the DNA kit in. The only real system that he thinks has benefits over simple snorkel removal is the horde power intake. Now we'll see if that changes when, I know TST are bringing out a new air intake system, and that might change in the future. And the good thing about Wheel Dyno Works is if you want to make any further mods to your bike for free, you can now ship it back and they'll change the map. Once you've paid that initial $250, $300 for a remap, you can just continuously send it back for changes to your map if and when you make mods to the bike. So we're simply going to take this snorkel out, and the only thing I've had to remove so far, obviously apart from the seat and everything, is the battery retainer. And we should be able to simply grab a hold of this and tweak it out. So wish me luck. I'm going to have a little go at this live on camera, and it seems we just need to get the lip out of the top of the airbox. Now this might have been easier when we had some warm weather. Not cold. Oh no, there we go, it's coming out. There it is. As simple as that. And we can, I'll just take you off my little magnet here. So there it is down there. There's the air intake. Snorkel deleted. Took like 30 seconds. And good. We're ready to refit the ECU now. So bear with me. Put you back on my base. There we go. All right, so which way around did this go? So it goes with these two ridge parts here to the top, and then we've got to locate these side mount rubbers onto some tabs within there. So pull the plug back a little bit, and I'm just going to leave a this in. Which way is the best? Just like that, I think. Come on, come on, come on. This might be easier to get the plug on first before we finally seat it home. I just want to get it in. Let's pull this a little bit. Let's get it roughly in place first. Like so. Alright, and we'll get the plug on first before we reseat it. Do be very careful with plugging this back in. Make sure it goes in almost all by itself. We want it to just glide in. Alright, so that's in. Now we just need to locate the rubber mounts. I think I've got on this side. I could do with a torch really, couldn't I? There we go, popped in that side. And that's it. Alright, ECU is back in. Excellent. Alright, so I'm just going to hook up the battery and then we'll give it a test fire. We can't do any running today. We're not going to take it outside. It's a bit of a miserable day out there. So we're not going to take it outside, but I'm just going to hook up the battery and we'll give it a fire. Okay, so the battery's back in. We're going to give it a test fire. I am aware that we're going to get probably one of the lights on the dash, like an engine code light. I believe it's there for a couple of rides and then it should go away. But it shouldn't stop us testing anything out. So yeah, probably this one is going to stay on. But anyway, let's give it a test fire. Today. Okay, everything's looking good so far. We're getting up to temperature. The idle seems good. Nothing strange going on, so I'm very happy with that so far. Kill it off now. Alright, so that's good. I'm pleased about that. Obviously, it would have been nice to take it out for a ride and see if we can feel any differences, but we just have to wait for springtime. But yeah, that's good. So probably the end of this video. Nothing much else to say. We've not got a lot else going on with the bike in these winter times. I'm still, a little bit on the fence about racing next year, just because of a few different things. But yeah, we'll see what things take me. Oh, we've got this to fit actually. I was just about to end the video, and I've got this extra support bracket to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that, and we'll get that fitted. Okay, so first job then is to actually remove our shift mechanism from the end of the shaft. I have added an extra lock nut on mine to I've seen these aluminium pieces eventually strip and not grip anymore, so I like to and also these threads, when this nut goes in, this screw, goes in, they can strip as well. So I like to have a lock nut on the other side that really clamps it and keeps it tight. So that's just me. Okay, so we've got that off and out of the way. So next, and we should be able to do this without taking the fairing off, we just need to get these hex bolts off. It's going to fit like this. So we just need to get some hexes in there and take those out. So yeah, so we can get our Allen key in here. nice and easily. So the question is, can we torque this up by feel, or can we get our torque tool in there? Not sure. We'll see. But you can't, it's good to get a feel of how tight these screws are in the first place. That took very minor effort to get those out, and check if they have any Loctite on them. I don't think that's necessarily got Loctite on it. Let's check the other one. It's a bit trickier to get out, of course. There we go. Nearly out. Yeah, so no, there's no Loctite on these bolts from factory. Sorry if you can't see this, it's a bit dark, I know. Anyway, so we're going to compare these. Are these the same length, these new bolts? So the new bolts are a bit longer, of course, so that's good. Right, now before we insert this, we've got to, let's get some light on the situation. We've got to apply grease in here because there's no grease on these bearings at the moment. So let me get some grease and pack that. So we've inserted a nice lump of grease in there, and I'm taking this drill, the other side of the drill, and we're just working this right into the bearing, making sure the grease gets spread all nicely into the needles that are in there, the needle bearings. Make sure it's all good and squidgy and pushed into the needle bearings, and then we'll wipe it off the excess when we're done. Push it in with your finger and stuff, making sure everything is lubricated. Give the bearing a twist so you get to see other sides of the bearing faces, and just keep working that grease in as best you can. There's a seal on this side, the front side. Alright, that should do us. It's not really rotating lots and lots, it's just making sure that we're good to go. Alright, so we're going to push this onto the shaft here. I'm going to leave the grease on the other side in case, you know, that's going to help us lubricate any of the backside. We will wipe off the excess, etc. So we're just going to push this into place. There we go. Making sure we've got these holes lined up here. Okay. Wipe off a little bit of the excess there. Okay. Let's get our new bolts. I'm not going to Loctite these if the originals weren't. So I'm going to locate those in there, get a few threads going. And the same again. Okay, let's just wind these down evenly. Alright, let's just feel that it's pushed back as far as it needs to go. Seems good. Let's just nip these bolts up a little bit. Alright, that feels nice and secure. Alright, I'm just going to put a little bit of torque on these, and then I'll figure out what torque value they actually need in a second. Okay. Okay, and then the last step is just to refit our shift mechanism. Now I should have noted, but I didn't, exactly where that was. Now, sometimes I'll put a mark on these, but this time I haven't. So if it's in the wrong place, I will soon find out when I go to ride it again. And I'll have to make an adjustment. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna slot that back on. I lost my Allen key. Here it is. So what I do with this is just get this nipped up kind of gently. And then put my lock nut on the other side. And the lock nut is doing most of the clamping. Just nip that up, and then the lock nut as well. And there we go. Quick and easy job, and hopefully this is going to help us with some of the gear shifting issues. We'll see. It might not be the miracle cure, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. All right, guys. Well, there we go. We've achieved a few things. ECU's been off, gotten reflashed, so that's great. Hopefully the engine's going to be even more efficient. We've got our Gearshift support in place, so that's great too. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching again. I know no riding action for a while, but at least we get to do a few little bits on bobs on the bike. So pleased with that. All right, well, I'll catch you up in another video and we'll see what we're up to next. Bye for now.